again, Adam. All right, anyway, Jarek Stanley, Microsoft Security Research Center, leader of the Bounty Program, here today to tell you how to earn even more with Microsoft Bounty Program with some simple, concrete steps, but also things I think you can apply to other bounty programs across the industry. So I'm going to give you a little introduction to the program, but by understanding the program, not just a pitch for Microsoft Bounty, but things to understand and leverage to use, to exploit, to earn even more bounty from Microsoft. Some examples of high-quality reports. Something that's kind of new for our program is to tell you how we measure, how we define this, and how you can use those same variables to help your reports earn even more bounty, as well as some new updates from the program. I've made some recent changes over the last few months. A few of these I'll talk about with you guys today, or the first time we've talked about this publicly, to make it even easier for you to succeed. So intro, Microsoft Bounty Program encourages and rewards security researchers for researching Microsoft products, finding security vulnerabilities, reporting with Microsoft, and working with us through coordinated vulnerability disclosure to fix and publicize the bug. So our bounty program is open to anybody, whether you're a full-time security researcher, a hobbyist, part-time, or just keeping your skills sharp on the side. So it's open to all. We believe that the partnerships with you guys here in India and across the globe are one of the best ways we can work together to secure our customers and the overall ecosystem. So you can submit anytime on any product, but I will give you a couple ideas about what's in scope, where we really focus and where we really reward additional research, and how you can learn about that and focus your research in the same areas. Even in addition to bounty, we welcome and will review every case you submit to us on a case-by-case basis. And if it's not in scope for our bounty program, we still offer recognition rewards for anyone who helps us fix and secure and improve our products. It's a really great way to build a professional reputation. We recognize people through CDEs as well as through online submissions on our website. So, bounty program. Let's see, let's make sure this is the right thing. Yeah. Our bounty program covers a bunch of different Microsoft products to include Office and Windows, as well as clouds. Cloud services, also known as online services, Azure DevOps, Office 365, large breadth of Microsoft products, with rewards from $500,000 to $15K for Office Insider, up to $50K for Windows vulnerabilities, and up to $250,000 for hyper-virtualization, or some of the really complex, really tough, and really high priority for Microsoft issue areas. But overall, across all our bounty programs, just this last year, we paid over $2 million. And Indian researchers make a really big contribution there. There's a lot of talent, creativity, and engagement here in this room and around the country here. So just in the last year, we paid over $90,000 in bounties to Indian researchers. That's twice the amount that we were able to award last year. And 4 of 4 Indian-based researchers have made our top 100, both for bounty submissions as well as simply for contributions to helping us fix our products. So how do you earn those bounties? How do you get on that list? From a high level, I'm going to move a little faster just to make sure that we get through the content. I'd love to leave time for you guys' questions. 2 key takeaways, and these are very high level. We'll get into more details here that you can actually use. But the first is submitting high-impact reports on high-priority products earns higher rewards. And the second is by improving the quality and completeness of your reports. You can also improve the amount of bounty you'll earn per report. Show us how to boost your findings, and I'll show you a bigger bounty. So first off, for that first point, the high impact, high priority, high bounty. Number 1 is read the bounty brief. We do as much as possible. From an economics perspective, it's called limiting information disparity. I want you guys to know as much as possible what we value and what we reward and what's in and out of scope of the program. And I'm investing the last few months and in the next coming months to make that easier and easier to digest, more and more information for you to start with, so you know where to target your energy, where to target your creativity, and where we are offering bounty awards and what bounty awards are possible. So end of the day, I love to award bounty to great research from anyone across the globe. It's in scope, absolutely, but out of scope reports will earn no bounty. And we offer as much information as we can up front to help you know what to expect. Second point is that at Microsoft, we use what's known as the STRIDE model to think about the impact of security vulnerabilities. STRIDE stands for Security, Tampering, Repudiation, Information Disclosure, Denial of Service, and Elevation of Privilege. In the Bounty program, I've also added remote code execution. It's a type of elevation of privilege, but it's something that's really important to secure our products, and so I'm offering a higher award tier for those types of vulnerabilities. So there's a link down at the bottom of the slide. I've got some resources in the back of this presentation to learn about this, but what's in it for you? The takeaway is that we speak the same language about a vulnerability. We can move a lot quicker through understanding what we're looking at and make sure that we're getting the right, and by right I mean read highest possible level of reward for any vulnerability you found. And I've baked these directly into how we set the awards for our bounty amounts. So for remote code execution, critical capability, go ahead. Little bit up on the volume, you said? Awesome. Hey, thanks for the heads up. I appreciate that. It's sometimes hard to hear in the back. So for high critical remote code execution, we'll offer up to, in the cloud bounty specifically, $20,000, which is quite a significant bounty award. Elevation of privilege, critical severity, $8,000. Even spoofing, where a lot of cross-site scripting falls, $3,000 for an important severity, high-quality award. But you notice here, you have a lot of phrasing that's up to. How do we decide up to what? Well, there's another vulnerability at play, or another variable at play, I should say, called quality. End of the day, the takeaway is the higher quality your report, the more bounty awards we offer for that report. That's not too bad, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how we measure that and give you an example, building on the same report about adding more and more information, specific information that gets you from a low quality to a medium quality to a high quality, a low bounty to a medium bounty to a highest bounty possible. But provide clear, concise information about the vulnerability, including version and configuration data where possible, really improves our ability to begin to reproduce, research this vulnerability, respond to you fast with in or out of scope, and with a bounty reward. Well-written instructions, well thought out repro steps in the cloud bounty can more than double the award for the same vulnerability. Give us more information, make more effort, and we'll reward you for that. And then even in addition, if you can talk about attack vectors, some root cause analysis, potential fixes, that'll take it even further. It's more valuable for our customers. It helps us understand how best to secure them, and we really want to reward you for that effort. So let's take a look at some real-world examples of low, medium, and high-quality reports. So the first one, this kind of goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. We've got to be able to reproduce the report. This is one of my favorites. It's all your stuff is broken. Description, fix your stuff, bro. Now, I appreciate the extra bro. It's a little personal note there. But at the end of the day, if we can't reproduce, the team needs just enough information to start an investigation. We've got some incredible minds, Matt Miller and others, Gaurav, who is here in the audience today, who will do everything they can to figure out what's going on. But at the end of the day, if we can't repro it, we can't award you a bounty or recognize you for helping us protect our customers and the broader ecosystem. Low quality example. Now, I think I'd like to rephrase quality into completeness, because this is a very useful report. It gives us some general domains, some description of what the vulnerability is seeing, and this earns a bounty reward. Absolutely. It gives us enough to start our investigation, figure out what's going on, and think about a fix. So this is fun. We'd love reports like this, but the result is potentially a little slower response to your submission. It'll take us longer to read through this, do some investigations, see what we can find. A lower bounty reward, of course. This is sort of the minimum information to qualify for bounty, as well as if we don't understand it the same way you do, we may not give you the right, and again, right, read higher, as high as possible bounty award. So this same report, if you added a little bit more information, can move to a medium quality and even a higher board. So same report, here's the next step. Clear, concise, easy to read, and easy to use steps to reproduce this vulnerability. Again, real world example. So we received, worked through, and awarded this exact report. So sharing some of your thinking, how our teams can reproduce, is a huge help. This gets us a faster response. We can understand right away what was going on, reproduce on our own systems, and start working towards a fix and start awarding bounty. Also, it helps us understand the same way you did, so we make sure we award you with the right level of bounty. And then, yeah, this is pretty darn good. Most researchers will stop here. But I want to give an extra idea of some steps you can take to even a high quality, a higher quality, and even a higher reward from the Microsoft Bounty program. Some of this stuff you'll see echoed in Adam's presentation, in Jason's this morning, but certainly applies to Microsoft Bounty program. A high quality analysis or additional analysis, some additional thinking. Adam said one of the things that they're looking for folks that hire through bounty programs, which Microsoft does as well, is your ability to articulate, to think, to kind of share your story. So analysis about root cause, even code snippets potentially, where the patterns are, where you see this in other products. This is incredibly valuable to the team. Can get us thinking beyond this specific vulnerability to other vulnerabilities, help us get the best fix for our customers in the ecosystem, and we'll reward you for that additional effort. This is just one example, but I hope by showing them low, medium, high quality. This gives you some concrete stuff. I'll put these online right after this presentation that you can use in your vulnerability submissions. But let's see how this pays out. So stride, understand the impact, quality, severity, equals exactly bounty. This is the same information that's on our public website. If this was an elevation of privilege bounty, you can see the low quality report would have earned $1,000, which is still pretty significant. We really want you to find and report vulnerabilities, and we'll thank you for the effort no matter what that level of effort is. But adding those repro steps, yeah, this is pretty small. You might not be able to see that in the back of the room, but it doubles the bounty amount. It'll go from $1,000 US dollar bounty to a $2,000 US bounty. Add those additional thinking, that steps about attack vectors, talking us through how you found the vulnerability, how you're thinking of the patterns. We'll multiply the bounty award by 5, in order to $5,000 bounty for adding that additional information. We know this is hard. It's sometimes difficult. It's hard to find the vulnerabilities, to articulate, to understand them. We really want to reward you for that extra effort. We're doing this in the Cloud Bounty. This is actually the payout structure and table from the Cloud Bounty, the Windows Bounty, the Azure DevOps Bounty. But we're rolling this out slowly to all of Microsoft's bounty programs. Let's see how we're doing on time. Not too bad. Talking to the team about any other tips I could share today with this community and the folks that maybe read this presentation afterwards. 2 others, laying out your assumptions is a really big help. If you've made particular choices in your repro, your system, your setup, making that explicit in your report's a big help. The research engineers on our side will usually set up a brand new test system to repro, and if they've missed something that you've done on your end, it can often take a longer time for us to respond and understand. And also, and this is, Adam mentioned the same thing, share with us your thinking from the attacker's perspective. What can you do with this vulnerability? How did you find this vulnerability? Really help us kind of get into your head. There's, pardon me. There's often a lot of work and energy that goes into these that doesn't often make it onto paper. So put it on paper in a structured format, and we'll try and reward you as high as possible for that effort. And finally, pardon me. Finally, we're working to make it easier for you to succeed in the bounty program every day. The joke here is the number one way we're making it easier is by releasing new code and new products. It's always easier to find security vulnerabilities and new stuff. But in reality, we're also changing how we run this program, how we engage with community to make it easier for you to succeed. So 3 ways we've done that just in the last couple months. 1, I increased rewards across the board in Windows, Cloud, and Azure DevOps, from $15,000 to $20,000 for our top award in Cloud, and up to $50,000 US dollars our top award in Windows. So we'll reward you more with higher bounties for the same products. One of the major ways we're hoping to improve the experience with our bounty program is awarding your vulnerabilities on our ability to reproduce it. In the past, we've waited for a fix to be confirmed, which means a few weeks to a few months before you even got any feedback on whether this is a good vulnerability and what kind of bounty you might earn. But so in the new system with Cloud and Windows, as soon as we're able to reproduce your vulnerability, we'll give you an assessment and we'll offer a bounty reward. Whether we fix it or not, we really want to thank you for the effort. If we recognize this as a valid vulnerability, we will make that award. We've also changed our duplicate policy. Microsoft employs over 3,500 security professionals who are researching and continuously securing our products every day. We find a lot of our own vulnerabilities, but it can take us some time to determine the fix and release that. If you're the first external researcher who's found this vulnerability and reported us, we'll still give you full bounty, whether we knew about it beforehand or not. Why? Because it still creates a lot of value for us and our customers to know that you guys can find it. Without source code access, without some of the training and context and the abilities, if you can find it outside, it lets us know the priority for fixing it and can even help us determine what the best way to fix it is. So we've made these 3 changes, awarding quite a bit more for bounty, awarding quite a bit faster for bounty, and awarding everything that's coming in the door that's new to us to make it even easier for anybody who's researching on Microsoft products to succeed there. And we'll keep adding things to make sure that your experience with the bounty program is successful as possible. So here's a slide with some additional resources to learning more about the program, about the STRIDE model, our thoughts on coordinated vulnerability disclosure, and some recent presentations. My team and I, Gaurav, Matt Miller, and others, are continuing putting out blogs over the coming year to help researchers get started. One of our first was in hyper-virtualization, or Hyper-V, which offers bounty awards up to $250,000. It's huge for us. It's really hard. It's really complicated, but it's very, very important. It's why we offer such high bounty levels, and it's also why we're starting to try and provide some more content, some training to help you guys get started. Hey, it's still very difficult. There's a reason why we're offering such a large bounty, but we're trying to give you as many tools as possible, as much idea and context to get you started. So from online services to Windows to Office, some of our more esoteric, more complex cloud services, we're going to continually be putting out more and more and more to help the security research community engage. And welcome your feedback. At the bottom there, again, you guys probably can't see in the back of the room, but there's an email address. Give us your thoughts, your feedback, what you'd like to see, your experience. We're always listening to what we're hearing and trying to make the best bounty program possible. So wrapping up, this will leave us a little bit more time for questions. First one is focus on high impact, in scope, high priority targets. Best way to do that is read the bounty brief. We're going to keep putting out more information, keep expanding our scope as our products and services change. The second is improve your report quality by adding additional information. Some of those concrete steps I give you examples about, repro steps, attack vectors, suggested fixes. All of those will earn higher and higher bounty awards. And then finally, we're going to continue to grow and expand this bounty program, both in ways that make it easier to succeed and that make it easier and more productive for us to engage together. The scope, Microsoft is growing quite rapidly, especially in cloud and some of those services. As those products grow, as that complexity grow, I'm going to build the bounty program to match that, to better secure our customers. There's always going to be new opportunities in the program. So check back as I add more online services, more domains, and keep moving forward. So end of the day, I hope you guys are able to walk away, both some of the presentation with some ideas about if you're already participating in the program, how to earn even higher bounty awards, and taking a look at other programs. By sharing some of our thinking, combine this with what Jason was talking about, what Adam talking about, I think you'll get a better idea across any bounty program how to succeed, how to earn even higher bounty rewards. I think that about wraps it up. Thank you guys so much for having me. It was really great chance to talk to you. Thanks for your patience at the beginning of the presentation. It's a little rough start, but hopefully you walk away with some interesting information. And I'd love to talk to anybody after the presentation. We've got a few minutes here, so if anyone wants to ask some questions for the crew, happy to call on you. If not, I'll be here for the rest of the conference. I'd love to meet you. So any questions, guys?
License consumable. You are trying to do some kind of assessment of these products as a because I found right Microsoft products will be testing, but like on the cloud or hypervisor, you get trial license for the researchers, or what is the path?
Sure. The question is how to get a license to use some of these products like hypervisor to conduct research. On our bounty page, we provide a number of areas where you can register for free accounts, especially in the cloud and online services. If you're interested, you can always contact bounty@microsoft.com, and we can find a way to give you the resources we can to get your research started. But that's a really good question, you're right, because not all this stuff is necessarily free. Sometimes it requires some registration or some extra steps to start your research. All right, guys. Well, then I'll wrap it up. Thanks so much for your time.